somewhere in one of my comments, somebody kind of asked or hypothesized that Kody Brown from Sister Wives might be sort of feeling the crunch that his ex-wives are all in this fun time of their life. Their kids are adults. They have grandkids. They can travel. They can do fun things. And Kody has young children, and he has a decade ahead of him, if not more, of paying for schooling. My understanding, I don't have proof of it, but my understanding is that his youngest two are in private Christian school, which is expensive, and that he still has kids in college, Robin's kids in college, and he has these younger kids all the way up through college. And that he might be feeling jealous. And I think what makes it even a bigger factor is all of his ex-wives own property and own businesses that seem to be doing okay. I don't know all of the inside outs of Mary's business, but she has a piece of property. She seems to be doing okay financially. We know that Christine just bought a house in Moab as like a second business. Janelle just bought a flower farm with Maddie. They're all close with their children and grandchildren. We don't see as much of that with Mary, but Mary has stated repeatedly that even though you don't see it on the show, she has a good relationship with her child. Mary has this large pool of friends that seem to just love her. I mean, every time we see them, they're like, you go, girl, you're amazing, you deserve better. Like, who doesn't want that? And it seems like Christine and Janelle are surrounded by, Christine has this large group of family. Not just hers, but David that support her. Same with Janelle, seems to have a great relationship with all of her children. Like, everyone seems to be thriving but Kody. And I do think that if we start to see an increase in anger, some of that might be coming from the fact that he really thought of himself as being this business genius. And he even told us in this episode that he didn't do a very good job with My Sister Wives Closet, that he screwed that up by putting Robin in charge. And that's not, basically said, it's kind of said, it's my fault that I didn't support her enough, and Robin sort of ruined this business. I mean, he's not wrong, but it was kind of interesting that he said that, whereas Robin's like, no one else supports me. And she also throws Kody underneath the bus. She's like, Janelle, Christine, and Kody didn't help me out. And of course, then the editors showed the footage of all three of them helping out, especially Christine and Janelle. But anyway, this idea that like Kody does not have, he has that big house and he sold the big house and got a bigger house. I don't know how he's going to afford it. It's like almost a $2 million house. And his family income, his money, as he puts it, has gone from 5 out of 5 people to 2 out of 5 people. And they've got 2 kids in college, because my understanding is that Aurora is going to go to grad school. And my assumption is that they're still helping. I could be wrong. He's got 2 younger kids in expensive private school. He is traveling all the time. And he has said that he's like, this place is littered with failed businesses. This is all the stuff for my failed businesses. I think the only thing he might be making money on is Cameo, which is $150 a pop. And he doesn't really sell that many. And when he does sell them, they all seem to be basically making him into a clown, because they're always, all the ones I see are things like, hey, Kody, can you give me advice on getting along with my kids? Hey, Kody, can you give my friend advice on how to have a happy marriage? Hey, Kody, I think the dance you do is really super cool. Can you do it? Hey, Kody, I love your hair. Can you give us a hair care routine? And they all seem like inside jokes that someone is buying for someone else so they can laugh at him, which I'm surprised he hasn't realized that. I think there's a reason Robin's not doing it. Not only because I've never seen her do a lick of work in my life, but also because she knows that people don't like her. And she knows that people would just make fun of her and be like, how to be a good sister wife? How do you do your eyebrows? You know what I mean? Like, sorry. But yeah, so I do think that Kody's going to have a bigger and bigger chip on his shoulder as everybody else in the family is happy and healthy and gets along. And we're seeing that like both Peyton and McKelty moved to North Carolina. I don't necessarily think to be closer to Janelle and Maddie, but I think it didn't hurt. And so we're getting sort of these epicenters of like, you can go here, you can go there and see big members of the family. And Kody is being left out, in his words, but really I don't think he's being left out. I think it's that he kicked people off and thought, oh, if I cut off this child, they're going to be left out. They're not going to have anyone to celebrate Christmas with because everyone else will be loyal to me. And then he's discovering that other people are like, hey, that's not a fair ultimatum. If I'm going to have to pick, I'm going to pick my brother, my son, all of my son from another mother, my brother from another mother, all that kind of stuff. They're going to pick other people. And after he kicked them all off the island, they went and made their new island. And they were like, hey, we don't always get along. We don't always agree on things. But, I value this relationship and I'm willing to work on it and blah, 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 blah. And it seems like everyone's getting together for these other events, except the old sad sack here, who's got a mountain of debt, I imagine, a significantly reduced income because, as he said, Janelle left and took her profits with her. Now, that would have been the MLM. And that's like being a consultant. Like, yeah, she took it with her, but it's all of her own work. Same with Mary, with her LuLaRoe business and the B&B, which they were very clear they don't want to be, they couldn't afford to put into. So not theirs. And Christine, who's just building a new life with her new husband. Oh, well.